Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It is me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to get tickled and talk the news of the past 24 hours in professional wrestling to our good friend, E.J. Cameron. E.J., welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Good to be back. Happy Tuesday. Ooh, yeah. We just do some Macho Man before we got on, so I'm in a macho mood.
Yeah, and I'm making waves with my arms right now. Oh, there's so much happening. Oh, it's pretty crazy in here. Oh, now we're both doing wave motions with our hands. We're having a party here today, everybody. We got a lot of news to get to. The chat room is open wherever you're at. Feel free to leave a comment, YouTube, Twitter. Like Antonio Garcia here. He says, hello, everyone, right? You know, that's a great thing.
What's up, Antonio?
And Samantha, hi, Antonio, right? So
we're chatting to each other. I love that.
It's great. So if you want to jump in the chat room, leave the comments room. I'll pull up some of the comments. We'll talk about it here on the show. Great show. News the past 24 hours. That's obvious. After the news block, before the mailbag, you're going to get to hear the full audio from AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page's AEW Full Gear Media Scrum. This is literally maybe 45 minutes removed from when he actually won the title, maybe an hour. I'd say an hour, closer to an hour. But still, very shortly after he won the title, full audio here today. And in the mailbag, we're going to talk about a potential return to WWE for Ronda Rousey based off of some, I guess we'll call them comments, vague allusions to her WWE status. There's a lot going on here today, EJ. A lot happening.
I don't have a Rousey pun for a lot, but there's a whole lot of it. I was like, no, I don't. Huh. I'm a hack.
It happens to the best of us, EJ, right?
Not
it's okay.
Me.
We're getting you started for the day. We're getting that percolating, popping up in the brain core right now. And with that, it is time for news you can use. News that leave a bruise. What? Well, you're laughing because I just threw
percolate and popping. Percolate and popping sounds great. I don't know why. It's just a great phrase. We're going to get that percolate and popping for you, man. I'm like, yeah.
All right. Well,
I got tickled on a Tuesday. My bad.
You did. And Mike D here, we're talking about tickling Doink the Cloud 2022 Hall of Fame Matt Board. That was a $2 super chat there. All right. Enough of the shenanigans. Let's get serious here for a moment, EJ. There was a very serious incident that happened on Monday Night Raw last night. It's obviously the biggest news of the past 24 hours. A fan, foolishly, decided to attack Seth Rollins at the top of the entrance ramp of Raw. Now, Seth kind of let him roll through, attempted like a guillotine, and then the guy starts grabbing at his hair. One ref comes over. Another ref, like a bullet, just shoots in there, gets in between them. Michael Hayes is getting in here, pulling this guy off. WWE, they released the following statement. WWE takes the safety of its performers very seriously. The individual who attacked Seth Rollins has been turned over to the NYPD and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. TMZ saying he's going to be in court next month. He was booked on attempted assault charges, and Fightful saying that this particular angry fan appears to have been catfished by a fake Seth Rollins that got him worked up to the point that he attacked the real Seth Rollins. And I know that you laugh, EJ, because we're coping, right? Because it's a very scary situation that just played out. I mean, you're a public performer. I'm sure that somebody, bum rushed you so after a few cocktails at Second City. That's not a situation you really want to run into.
No, every day that I get on stage, I'm thinking that anytime somebody moves, I think I've told you about this maybe a month or two ago. This guy started walking up to the stage as I was in the middle of the bit, and I instantly just dropped character and was like, yo, what are you doing? But in more colorful language. Because I was like, oh, it's boogie time. I thought I had to jump on him.
Wow. Okay, that's terrifying. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. You get the vibe he was going to try to get on stage for hardcore? You thought he was trying to make a move?
I think he misunderstood the audience participation and just started walking up to the stage. Like, because I made eye contact with him, but I was about to kick him in the face. You see how I'm raised up, so I was like, yeah, I got it. Clean shot.
Well, I think that this gentleman here, he also misunderstood the audience participation level of Raw. You don't get to fight the wrestlers, right?
No.
So we're not going to say his name. There's like a video he put out that's getting spread around. I requested we don't run that on the site. I don't want to lionize or give this guy any kind of extra attention. He's an idiot who did a stupid thing. Looks like he was probably manipulated by some awful human out there that finds this funny. There's nothing funny about this. Don't attack wrestlers. I don't really know that we need to talk too long about this. Just don't be that guy, right?
And I hope that person, if you're easily catfished like that, I'm hoping that he also finds the help he needs as a person. Maybe to be like, hey, buddy, don't believe all of these things, and don't jump the rail and run at somebody who's a full-on athlete, combat athlete, even if it's performance. Like as a kid, I used to fantasize about jumping the rail and wrestling with the Undertaker and stuff like that. But good God, no.
Yeah. Don't attack wrestlers. Don't throw sharp objects at wrestlers. Just in general, just enjoy the wrestlers. Do not try to physically engage them. Respect their space. They'll respect your space. And I know there's this other quasi debate that popped up here overnight about whether or not Seth Rollins should have been more aggressive with this guy, send a signal, that old school mentality. I understand it, right? I get that that side of it, especially your self-defense and things like that. But all things considered, I personally think Seth handled this thing fine, right? He's safe. That guy's in jail. Didn't have to, whatever. I know some people took some issue with the way he yelled at the guy being pulled away, but, you're lost in the moment there. It happens. So.
Yeah, I saw people talking about that. So when I went back and listened, I was like, oh, I hear it. I took it as him in that moment maybe saying boy as in the sense of like, okay, I got to say something else because it would have been some other stuff maybe. Who knows? But I didn't take it as he's from Iowa. I don't take it as I didn't think it was racist.
Okay. Because I didn't know if you'd seen it or it's like the Zapruder tape. Because I didn't notice he said it because it all happened so kind of fast. But I had somebody today say to me, like, "Do you see the way he said boy to that guy as he was getting pulled off and, he's yelling at him?" And I was like, ooh, yeah, well, you're lost in that moment there. You just got attacked. You want to yell something at somebody. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, it was a moment I was like, but I try to take just being in the moment. If he said something else, I would have been like, whoa, hey.
Right.
Let's talk about that. But I don't know, because I try to think if somebody like ran full speed at me and like tackled me, the things I'm yelling at you, boy, is gonna sound way better than anything else I would say to you if you did that.
Yeah.
But no, I think he handled it well. I mean, he got him in a little front face lock for a bit. I think he threw a couple of kicks, but nothing major. Other people jumped in and handled it.
Whatever. Yeah, right. Okay. Don't be a dick. And look, the fun didn't stop there. Another fan, they got ejected from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn after this week's Raw went off the air. The fan in question presumably talked smack to the superstars in the ring. That's what led to his ejection. Now, TalkSport is saying Montez Ford waved off the fan, but MVP and Sami Zayn were not having any of it. It was clear it wasn't clear exactly what the fan yelled out, but it appeared to be so offensive. How offensive was it? It was so offensive, it got them ejected from the building. Ching, right? Again, it's like, and I don't want to it depends on, we don't know the level of offense, right? But particularly at a WWE show, like that's a family environment. Like, what are you doing, man? How you living your life, right?
Yeah, and the dude looked like a little trash bucket, too, that got thrown out. I truly just loved watching Sami Zayn and MVP looking like, oh, yeah? Let's go. Let's do this. Like, MVP is just old school enough that he's like, yeah, this is what we used to do if you jump in the ring. I know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Let's go.
Hey, Andy's got a cane, right? He's, like, carrying around this weapon. So you're right. He does have, like, a black belt, but he also has, like, this big piece of solid wood that could probably also do some damage.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody has to relax. What's annoying, and this takes me to go to another spot of like just a year ago, there were no fans there in attendance. We all remember having to sit at home, and we wish that we could go back to these things. And now we have this the opportunity and the privilege to do it, and we throw it away and we crap on it by doing things like this. Pay your money, sit down, enjoy yourself, go home.
Yeah. So, and I want to be like, yeah, everybody's locked up in COVID. There's gonna be some people that are acting out, but look, it hasn't happened anywhere else. The same place that Bret Hart was attacked during the Hall of Fame ceremony, that was also at the Barclays Center. Just, I don't want to cast aspersions on the good people in New York, but just
leave Brooklyn alone.
Just get it together, guys.
Brooklyn's not bad. Stop.
It shouldn't act. I don't want to call Snake Plissken to get, Seth Rollins out of New York. All right. It's a deep cut. Moving on. Actual other non-fan pro wrestler interaction stuff here. Where's Samantha's comment? So Austin Theory, he's the one who stole Vince McMahon's Cleopatra's egg from The Rock. She says she's disappointed with the conclusion. It just added to the Sami Zayn conspiracy theory. And yeah, Sami Zayn was the one to bring Austin Theory to Vince with the egg. And he thought, I found the egg. I should get this world title opportunity. No, not in Vince's world. He gets called a snitch. Nobody likes a snitch. And Austin Theory rewarded with that world title shot against Big E. What a great boss. What a
lesson learned. What did we learn here today, kids?
Crooked, crooked is
crooked,
right? Yeah, totally. So,
yeah.
Reflections on this, and then yes, the match Theory had with Big E there did not walk away with the WWE title. Spoiler alert.
The whole whodunit thing, I did not like it. I'm trying not to say I hated it, but I did not like it. I saw your tweet about how it's the most consistent storyline being told.
Hey, it was an easy setup. We're trying to find somebody who stole Vince's egg, and there was a payoff. Hey, start, middle, end. A boom. That's a story right there. I wish there was more.
A boom. I don't know. Watching everybody running around and just tearing things apart, looking for this thing, it seems so over the top. And I get it, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like it. And something, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say it. I'm not a fan of Vince's acting recently. He used to be really like good and money at what he was doing, but now his bits seem really written and forced. And he's telling and showing, like he's like, look at me doing this. Look how peeved I am. And I'm like, ew. This wasn't Vince before. I don't know he's older, but yeah.
That's the thing is like I don't really know what to make of Vince, right? Is he a beloved P.T. Barnum type? Is he evil, Monty Burns type? I don't really know what kind of aged billionaire is Vince McMahon. What is the vibe? I mean, it's a very conflicting time right now for how you're supposed to feel about Vince, I suppose.
I would call him a strong Burns.
And Miss MCAS Pierce saying, why would you want a title shot when that egg is worth $100 million? I'm on eBay selling this thing. Yeah, heist of the century. This guy just gives it back. It's a bad thief.
That's what I was saying. That was a good point. I was like, yo, $100 million? That's how much it costs? I wouldn't care about that title. I'm out of there. Yeah. I'll buy one.
Gary Lyle saying starter funds for a new Fed. Yeah, a couple of the guys could have got together. I would have loved some of the former superstars got together. They heisted the egg, right? Right? Come on now. Matt Cardona hang in like Tom Cruise style. Like, I'm going to do this thing, guys. Bam, bam.
I got it.
We had lastly here, we had a couple new champions crowned on Raw last night. Carmella, Queen Zelina, they defeated Nikki Ash, Rhea Ripley. They're the new women's tag champions. And then Dana Brooke pinned Reggie to become the new WWE 24/7 champion. Any thoughts on our new female champions coming out of Monday Night Raw?
Congrats to Carmella and Queen Zelina. It makes sense. I hope this might be a turn for Nikki Ash or Rhea Ripley. After
Sure.
they tore her down so much, saying that she's the weak link and a loser for like weeks. Something there has to be a turn or something there. You can't just tell me she's a loser and we just move on and we watch her every so often in battle royals.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, Samantha's right. Dana pinned Cedric, not Reggie. There was a couple changes there.
You
So
do a bunch of.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't really paying attention. I was making chicken tenders. I meant to look it up exactly who she pinned to get that title. I was like, oh, the 24/7 title change. So I have to go back and watch this. I meant to. Got busy on some calls.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
I mean, what's the bit here? Yeah, with that one too. Now what? Dana Brooke's not going to be doing parkour and flipping around, is she?
I that's a great question. What kind of a champion will Dana Brooke be? I don't really know. I think it was just the novelty of Dana Brooke having the 24/7 title. Maybe they wanted a woman in the division.
Or she's also been getting a lot of flack on the internet too. Speaking of releases, because people, this is mean, but people will be like, "Oh, well, how is so and so here? Why is Dana Brooke still there?" So I don't know. That could be a reaction to it, like, "Haha, take that, internet." But
Yeah, and Nigueluno won, saying need Nikki Cross back, and yeah, as you were saying, like time for a change. Did I butcher that? Do you know
I
how
was
to
gonna say Nige Luno, but that works too.
Niche Luno? The weirdest name I've ever. I don't even know it's a name. I don't even know what that is. So definitely changed for Nikki Ash. We never really got to see the Joker Batman dynamic play out with her and Rhea Ripley. I always thought it was so fascinating. They like real quickly threw them together. I thought for a while we were going to see like them and maybe we'll get to it now. I'm not really sure. I kind of get the vibe they may just move on. I don't know. I don't know how much they care, right?
That's how it feels. And they keep doing this odd couple pairing. And it's always the same thing. They're doing it right now with Randy Orton and Riddle. Why do we keep getting this oddball like we don't belong together, but I love you, and then redoing it again and again?
I was pleasantly surprised that Randy Orton did not lay out Riddle after that tag match. I thought they were just building up to that moment. He finally won Randy over. I'm just getting to the point now where I think Riddle's going to turn on Orton. I think it's going to go the other way around.
Or they might. It could be a WrestleMania build-up.
We're at the Rumble on the horizon. You know?
At the Rumble, maybe they fall out.
Yeah. All right.
Now that we love them so much.
Yeah. Well, we got some backstage news here from Fightful about the WWE releases that just came around. So many within WWE expected Jackson Riker to be released. Part of the cuts due to the heat he picked up from the tweet in support of then President Trump in June 2020. It was known that Riker largely laid low when some of the initial heat died down from the Trump support, and one WWE source in creative noted that it was evident Riker's character wasn't getting over when fans returned this past summer, describing it as an uphill battle to get a reaction from the crowd. What's your surprise-o-meter at here, EJ?
My surprise-o-meter is it broke down. As you know, me and you have had a lot of fun reviewing Raws and just talking about Jackson Riker, and I were like, so when is this going to be done here? Yeah, he hit low. Then he did the whole Da Vinci Code, whipping himself, beating himself, and that did nothing still. So I'm not surprised.
Dude, I called it, man. Like I did like a couple of podcasts before they came back to touring, and I got asked, what do you think's gonna be different? Are there anybody you're worried about getting mixed reactions? I'm like, yeah, Jackson Riker. Like we all remember what he was pushed like during the Thunderdome era when they had total control of the sound and they tried to send him out there and as soon as he got on the road. They put him, I think, in that Sound of Sorrow match or Symphony of Destruction match or whatever with Elias. They had the strap match. And then I think the third Raw back was Chicago. And I remember being like, they got to be nuts to put this guy out in front of a Chicago crowd. And they wound up trotting him out during the the dark match. I think he did a main event match.
Yeah, we were getting a beer.
Yeah, and he wasn't like on the main show. but I was like, there was no, it was, I don't remember there being like I was just like flat. Remember, like, no, there was no sound that was made when he came out. Yeah.
You heard the ring, and everybody was getting snacks and drinks.
So that's the obvious backstage news on Riker. As for Tegan Knox, Fightful saying she and others were not told which brand they were going to be going to, and she actually learned that her tag team with Shotzi was being split up in the draft via social media. She was sent to Raw in the draft, but never wrestled a match on the red brand, and then was released for, I don't know, whatever reason.
What was the point? Why would you do that?
She and Dakota Kai had like top end feud in NXT. Another kind of just like, if the whole point of NXT is to see who can get over, who can get people interested, and who doesn't, I think Tegan Knox checked all the boxes off down at NXT. She was obviously able to play around at the top. She had all the skills. I think the thing that upsets me more about this was it's just more just knowing how in the wind, like a bag in the wind, these people gotta feel. One day you're up, the next day you're down, that kind of thing. You like the American Beauty reference there, right?
American Beauty and Katy Perry. All of a sudden, I was like, "Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?" Yeah, it sucks that they did that. As we talked about it, her and Shotzi seemed like they were going to be this hot new tag team. The crowd loved it, building them up, and then nothing. And then you separate them and say nothing about it. And do why? Why even separate them?
It's a great question, EJ.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Also, Brian Bills here saying that you did an amazing rendition, EJ, that Katy Perry song.
If I sang anymore, we'd have to pay. So thank you for enjoying that little snippet.
And I know there's not as much money outside of WWE, but like I do feel like everybody who gets out there is kind of a sigh of like it's over these days. You know, like they've gone through something, right?
Yeah.
In many cases, there seems to be like a big sigh on the other side of their release. So
I feel like it's like when I know people that work for Disney. They're like, "Oh, I love this place. It's so great." And then as soon as they're out, they're like, "Man, that was awful. I did not enjoy being there." Like working behind the scenes, you learn how the sausage is made, and it ain't good parts, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I saw these commercials about Amazon. Oh, wow, what a great company. And then you're in there, and you're stacking up water bottles. You know what I mean? So
they're like, "Thank you, Amazon. I could be a firefighter." I'm like, "What?" With Terry Crews. Don't get me started.
Okay. Lastly, here, before we get to Hangman Page, we're going to still talk about Ronda Rousey here in the mailbag. Scotty Tuati put out a very nice note here today asking WWE for his release, or noting he'd asked them for his release. I would imagine it's granted. He's been working out at the Performance Center. Always been a Scotty Tuati fan. I got to work with him a couple times on the Independents, and I don't think I took the worm. I don't know. It's all kind of a blur. But he's a very nice man. Very, very nice man. He was always like one of the greatest people to hang out with in the locker room. Very low key and a legit firefighter. Like when he left the WWE, he went, became a firefighter, came back to do this. I wonder if he goes back to doing that. So anyway, just general thoughts on Scotty Tuati. You got anything here, EJ?
Always loved him. I can't do the worm. Tried as a kid. Me and my brother, we were all fans of Too Cool and Rikishi. That was our whole vibe as a family. We'd watch wrestling. So it's really dope. I'm glad that he's leaving. I hope he's doing something that makes him happy and enjoying his life.
All right. Well, EJ, thank you for joining me at the top of the show to talk all the news of the day. Thank you to AEW for the access to the media scrums at Full Gear. Of course, Adam Page for the time. Tomorrow is our last AEW Full Gear media scrum. It's the Tony Khan scrum. So it's a little bit longer than the other scrums. So come back tomorrow for more punditry and that scrum. And, of course, on Thursday, our Thanksgiving Day special, it's Jimmy Corderas looking at Survivor Series. And he has a great tale about tribute to the troops and a kind of incident that happened there that was quite scary. And I'd never heard this story. So a lot of stuff here to come this week. But for now, at Wink Daily, WINC Daily, that's the account to follow on Twitter to vote in our daily poll. Today's poll question stems from a Facebook Live feed that Ronda Rousey did. And Ronda was asked by a fan, I guess, during this feed, are you still with WWE? To which she said, I don't think I am, but who knows? That's a question for the lawyers. Your reaction to that comment, EJ?
At first I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The lawyers. Huh.
Doesn't seem amicable, does it?
No, it seemed like something went weird. Maybe I feel like with her saying it, then that means WWE maybe owes her something if she needs a lawyer involved.
She said that she was also asked about her return, and she's kind of like, yeah, whenever I want to do it. She said that her and Steph, like, text baby photos, but she hasn't talked to Triple H since, I guess, he had some heart surgery or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, nothing major.
But yeah, it felt a little cold to me too, and I think it was really obvious at the end of her WWE run. She really wasn't thrilled with the whole kind of experience. She seemed very upset on the microphone. And I mean, if there's lawyers involved, like maybe she didn't want to fulfill extra matches or dates on her contract and just want it done. And that's why I should go ask a lawyer, because she herself is not sure how that is going. And that's just me maybe connecting the dots, but totally possible, right?
Sounds like somebody saw how the sausage was being made and did not like it.
And Samantha saying this could be a work. And you know what, Samantha? It always could be a work. Absolutely. It's just a very specific kind of comment, like feels a little too off the cuff to me to be some work. But anyway, if Ronda does come back to WWE, who do you most want to see her feud with? Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, or somebody else? 250 votes here in the past hour or so. 57-4 Becky Lynch, 23-1 Bianca Belair, 15-7 Charlotte Flair, 3.7 for somebody else. Who do you want to see Ronda go up against if she does come back to WWE?
Becky makes the most sense. They have a history. There's also both of them being new mothers. There's some sort of something behind that, I feel. Outside, personally, I would love it to be Asuka. Whenever she's back and healthy, I wanted to see them go at it. But yeah, those are my picks.
My personal one is Charlotte, just because Charlotte seems to be this very like a feral animal. I don't know. She's out there intentionally trying to, be aggressive, right? Like she's very on her toes at the moment. And I would be just fascinated to see how those energies pair up right now, because everybody else is like, oh yeah, Ronda, oh yeah, I'm doing business with Becky, I'm doing business. But with Charlotte, it's like, there's kind of a need to kind of, there's an upsmanship, I would think, in that situation that doesn't exist with the other women. And maybe just from a popcorn eating perspective, that's the one I'm far more interested in watching.
When you say it like that, yeah, but also because I like seeing messes, I would like to see that. But I also don't think that Charlotte should try to pull that crap on somebody like Ronda, because Ronda is a legit shoot fighter and will drop her on her head or just flip her in one of those judo flips if she gets too angry. Like the fact that she was trying it with Nia, I was like, girl, what are you doing? So I do like that messy part. I'm like, yeah, that would be fun, but also, oh.
Hey, I just saw the traffic that all the Becky Charlotte stuff did, and I don't think Becky wants to push those same buttons. I think Charlotte I think she wakes up and she, here's my tablet filled with buttons as I button away, right? So anyway, that's my personal preference.
True heel.
By the way, I'll throw out Brian Bills. He'll get the last word here. He wants to see an MMA 4 horsewoman blow up, but many of the horsewomen have been released, so I don't really know where that leaves us. Maybe who knows? All right,
Ronda Shayna.
Maybe Ronda Shayna. EJ, I want to thank you once again. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with Tony Khan's AEW Full Gear Scrum. If you like the Wrestling Inc. Daily Sport, WrestlingInc.com. We're on all the socials. And, of course, the Wrestling Inc. podcast goes live at night after the big shows, including tonight after NXT, so be sure to tune into that EJ, anything you want to put over here before we wrap up today?
I want to put over, I hope that everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time. If you're with people or if you're by yourself, make it a good one. Enjoy yourself. Be safe and happy and thankful. And I'm thankful for being here, Nick. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, EJ. I am thankful that you are here as well. I am thankful to all of you who are tuning in. Yeah, we got one more live episode to go tomorrow, so come on back for that. But that's everything, everybody. I'm at Nick_Houseman. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.